Hello, I'm Katrina. Welcome to my Floss Tube number 3. I hope you had a good week. I'm glad that you've joined me here, and I look forward to sharing some of the happenings and plans that I've got going on. So, first of all, let's get the important stuff out of the way. How's the weather in your area? Not really. But if you talk to my grandma, that's what she'll want to know each time. So, it does have a relevance here. I was planning on recording yesterday, and we had a really heavy, wet spring snow, and so the power was out for hours, so the recording didn't happen. That also explains why I'm wearing this really fuzzy jacket. I call it my llama jacket. I don't know why. I just feel like a llama in it. So, with the power being out last night, I was able to make dinner and stuff. We have a gas stove, so I could sort of turn on the gas and light it. So we had beer brats and cheesy cauliflower, which I like to think of as like a grown-up version of macaroni and cheese and hot dogs. So that was pretty good. We weren't too cold or anything. We are up here in Montana, but the power wasn't out that long. And like I said, it's a spring snow, so it didn't get as cold as it does in the winter. This past week, I went over to help my dad out. If you watched my last video, you know that my mom passed away on Easter, so we've been planning a service for her, and I've been helping him kind of go through things and get stuff sorted out. The weather was nice off and on over there, so we got lots of outdoor time. My dad took my youngest son fishing, and the girls were grooming the horses and riding. The one horse is a Shetland pony, and I don't know if you've ever been around a Shetland pony in the spring, but they just shed gobs of fur. It's like wool, like thick chunks. It's in her mane. So she's like a little woolly monster. And there was like another horse on the ground by the time they were done. She enjoyed it though. I'm sure that's itchy and it feels good to get all of that old hair off. I spent a lot of time with, I guess I'm saying I spent a lot of time. We spent a lot of time doing a lot of things. I spent time with my grandma and my aunts, and we played cards. That was nice. It was good to laugh and enjoy time with them. And then going through things at the house, my dad offered a lot of things to me that had belonged to my mom. And I just kept thinking, I already have so much in my own house, like how am I going to bring more home? And so I started thinking about the idea. I think there's a book called The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning. And I kind of looked into that, and maybe I'll apply some of those methods. I do want to get the book and read through it. But I also remembered that the Fly Lady has this idea where you pretend you're moving, and you get rid of anything you wouldn't want to pack up and take along. And we've been looking at land to build a house on, and so I was like, well, that seems like a good idea for us. We can even actually pack up some stuff in case we do get this land and build our house. So things like books that we aren't using for school this year, or, that I can pack up, like these are all the literature books. It's in a box. If I need it, I can just go grab stuff out of there. So we started pretending we're moving yesterday, and we're going to work on that all this week. So that when we go back home, if I bring stuff over, it won't be quite so overwhelming to have all those additional items in the house. So that's kind of what we've been up to. Yeah, springtime in Montana is interesting. Although it's one of my favorite parts of the year, spring and fall, I think. Otherwise, updates and events. I've been hearing a lot about this Stitch Mania, and I need you guys to fill me in. It sounds really interesting and also really kind of overwhelming. I've heard that people start a lot of projects, and I don't know if my budget and my schedule can handle that. I've also heard Steph and Pam from Just Keep Stitching were talking about even using it as a challenge to just work on one project all month long. So I'm kind of interested in getting involved, but I need to find out more about this. So if you have done it before, I would love for you to put in the comments what you've done and kind of what you thought of it. That would be great. That'll help me out. Sorry, I keep scooching up to this screen here. It's just the way I'm set up today. I am still working on just getting situated. Yeah. Is there like elevator music I should play while I'm doing that? I was trying to sit over here so you wouldn't get as much glare in my glasses, but then I can't reach my notes as well. So anyway, moving on. That's all I have for updates and events. What just happened? Oh, I'm still there. My screen went black. So now I'm going to talk about finishes. Previously, I have only been able to talk about quilting finishes, but today I have a cross-stitch finish to share with you. So last week I had shared that I had picked up the Cross Stitcher magazine. Going backwards. This is my favorite cross-stitch magazine. Given I don't have a lot of experience with cross-stitch, but I had gone on our library app and I can check out magazines on there. And so I had looked through some cross-stitch magazines, and then I saw this at Barnes & Noble. This is Cross Stitcher issue 366, February of 2021. Excuse me. And so I had seen this at Barnes & Noble, and it had so many cute projects on the front, and so I picked it up. And this is a very long intro to say they have these little projects in there. They were Valentine's Day projects. And I was looking online for Mother's Day cards that I could make, and all of a sudden I realized I had this little cup of tea project in here, and I thought that would be really cute for my mother-in-law for her card on Mother's Day. So I finished it. I have not put it in the aperture, I don't know if that's how you say that, the card, like the little frame card yet, but that is how I'm going to finish it. So here's my little cup of tea. Isn't that cute? I went more with like a Wedgwood idea, like the China. Not super familiar with that, but I knew that look that I wanted. So I did just blues and creams. I still kept the heart tea bag as red right there. But it was a lot of fun, and it was very like a quick, satisfying finish, I suppose you could say. So I'm pretty proud of that. I can tell you the pattern is in the book, and then I used DMC floss, and then it's stitched on a white 14 count Aida cloth. So there it is. I'm going to bring this back in a minute because I want to talk about some things that I learned. Those of you with a good eye might see a few things that you think are a little wonky, and you'd be right. So there is my finish. That's it for finishes. My progress, I did make a smidge of progress on the Coop Almanac. So from Primitive Gatherings, this is the Coop Almanac. I'm really backwards here. I'm using a different camera setup. So this is the Coop Almanac, and I am stitching May. So I'm hoping to get it done and set up on like a board or a hard cardstock or something to use as like a little decoration for each month. So May, sorry, I've got thread sticking out because, as I'll tell you in a minute, I am unstitching at the moment. So I got the, I'll just hide behind it. I got the border done, and it all lined out and came out well. And then the comb and the wattle I had done before, and I started coming down the neck, and I'm just off. So I have to redo it. I don't know. So first, I just can't figure out this camera. First, I had come too far over. So I unstitched over to where I saw the mistake and started in again and started to come up, and I had started too low. Like that there is supposed to be up a row. So I'll pick these out again and do it again. I'm going to blame that on trying to stitch in the semi-darkness of an airplane in not the best state of mind. So, and being like a beginner, that was the second cross stitch that I had done, that I had started. So anyway, that's my progress for the Coop Almanac. Here, I'm going to scooch some of these around. Okay. My next progress is quilting related, and so this is part of Pat Sloan's Home Is Quilt Along, and I'll link to her website in the bottom here. She just has a weekly block, and it's an asymmetrical quilt pattern. So there is block number, I'm going to say 13, I think. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I just can't do the camera, and my screen went black again. Okay, can we see it? There it is. I think this is beautiful. I think it's a great combination of like modern with the stripes and then classic with that little 9-patch square there. So that is the Home Is Quilt Along block. And then progress on my ball jar. I had this in the first video and I didn't show it to you last week. I don't think I'd really worked on it too much. And anyway, so there is the bowl jar. So the original pattern was free from the Country Living magazine, and then DMC Threads has a bunch of freebies, floral freebies on their website, and so I just went and chose like 3 or 4 different patterns and have added them in. So now what I'm thinking, so I made this into a poppy. I think it was supposed to be a rose. Added a little leaf and then this little spray, which I really love. And I'm thinking that I will do like a half wreath along the bottom and call it done. This was just I'm not sure if I want to cross stitch. I need something easy. So I had chosen the jar and then I really liked it and needed more in my jar. So I found flowers. So it's not really a definite pattern. So I can just be done whenever I want to be. I mean, I could be done now. Maybe I will. I don't know. So anyway, there's that. That's my other progress. All right, that can go in the basket as well. I'm going to peek around, you guys, and look at my thing. Oh, I wanted to add a tips and tricks section to my videos, which at this point in my cross-stitch journey is mostly called What Did I Learn This Week?, which is a lot. There we go. I guess this is sort of what I learned. I had shared these last week, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about them. There's some magnifying glasses with lights on them that my dad had given to me that Mom had bought. And I thought it was kind of silly. And then I started using them, and they were life-changing. So there are these magnifying glasses. There's a little button under here, and they have lights. I'm going to try not to blind you. And so they work amazing for stitching. Yeah, I don't really care how I look anymore. They're so helpful. So like when our power was out yesterday, it wasn't dark in the house, but it was just cloudy sunlight coming in, so I could still stitch away. I was entertained, and I looked them up online. I was just kind of curious about them, and it says you can even wear them over your glasses, which I had just done because what other option do I have? But they do sort of have an extended nose piece here, so yeah, like, okay, I'm going to show you, but yeah, I can set them over my glasses and they don't go anywhere. Every once in a while I push my own glasses back up, but yeah, they're pretty nifty. They come with a USB cord, so that light is rechargeable. It's an LED light, and then they come with a cleaner as well. I threw the link down in the bottom if you want them. I don't know. They're kind of one of those as seen on TV, just sort of products, but they were very helpful. Let's see. What else have we got here? Gotta get my notes to go up. Oh, so I'm going to bring the little teacup back in, because I want to talk about back stitching. I mean, this is not a tutorial, but if you look, where's my camera? If you look at the teacup handle, it's just sort of jiggity, jaggedy, not wonderful. And in fact, I may take it out, we'll see. Or down here, I am not super loving the way I did the back stitching there. Sorry, I'm peeking underneath there. What I figured out was, so I was looking in the Cross Stitcher magazine, and there was a straight line text alphabet. Yeah. So there was a straight line backstitch text in the magazine, and I noticed that some of the letters were a combination of one square or diagonally across two squares. And I was like, I didn't know you could do that. So I tried. I was like midway into these little tendrils of steam when I realized that you could skip. Like you could do like over two squares. So what I had been doing is I was trying to like split the Aida cloth and catch the weird little 3/4 of a stitch. I wonder if you can see any of it. I think in that one, like it's from this corner to like in the middle of that stitch. And so then I realized that I could have gone from this corner up to the next one and it would have just smoothed it out. So that's what I started doing here, and it looks so much nicer. It's not perfect, but you know, something I figured out. So I thought I'd share with you guys. Everybody probably knows that already. A lot of these things are, unless you're a beginner, probably so very obvious, but it was, you know, you got to learn. So, the other thing too that I thought was so funny was that with the floss, I was taking and I was separating it out and I was pulling it apart like this. And what happens when you do that? It twists up and it wraps around itself and it ties itself in knots. And so I was like holding part of it with my mouth and having my kids untwist it. And then all of a sudden I realized you can hold this side and pull the piece of thread out, and then this just straightens back out and you're ready to go. Oh my goodness. So anyway, I felt really silly when I realized that, and about all the time and struggle I'd had trying to figure that out or trying to get my thread apart. So there's another handy thing I learned. What else? Oh, the pin stitch. Like in my flower,